My money, the greatest game dunk in pro basketball history belongs to him with Team USA back in 2000. Jumped over a 7-2 center and punched it on it. Hard to top that.
And you think back to Vince Carter starting his career with the Raptors, an 8-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA selection, and he really introduced Canada to the NBA game.
Carter hits them both.
And for Vince Carter, a superstar in his prime when he was with the Raptors, and his departure left some bad feelings there, no doubt. But, you know, you think back to last season, though, in Toronto, they played a video tribute which brought Vince to tears. I mean, that was nice to see the reconciliation.
Now, here's Cousins. Last time out, he had 44 points.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
It's Kobe Bryant on the wing. There it is. It's Nash picking up the assists. Here's Joseph. We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. Let's go to Doris Burke, who spoke with head coach Alvin Gentry.
He talked about the challenge of game planning for Tim Duncan. He said Timmy's one of the best to ever do it on the low block. We've just got to play the percentages, force him to his left, and force him to make tough, contested shots. Guys, even though Duncan isn't a deadly free throw shooter, he knows how to draw contact. They want to avoid getting baited into silly fouls. Back to you.
Thank you, Doris. And Joseph kicks to Gordon. Screen by Cousins. Gordon dishes to Joseph. Gordon with the screen for Joseph. Back to Gordon. Free throw line jump shot. And the rebound goes to Duncan.
And they're 1 of 5 to start this game. Just really haven't gotten into a flow offensively.
Nash the pass to Duncan. And that's good off the glass that time. About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Cousins with a screen on Nash. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Steve Nash. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Cousins.
In building this lead, they've done a terrific job finishing the defensive sequences with the backboard. That has been key.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. Not one second chance bucket for the opposition. They're boxing out on every shot.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Yeah, shots falling. Off to a very good start offensively as a result.
Sinks that one from the post.
I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A game rolling tonight.
Trailblazers leading by 6. Here's Nash. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. KG, that's good.
Just couldn't get a hand in the face on that one.
That's using what you got. He's got a height advantage, put it to good use there, and got himself a clean look.
Now here's Joseph. Inside, here's Cousins. And that one hits back iron.
And with room like that off the pick, you have got to knock that one down.
Well, you know, they did everything right, Greg. They executed. All you want is a good look at the basket. Sometimes the shots just don't fall.
Here's Joseph, following the basket by Kobe Bryant. That first time out of the game called for New Orleans. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors.
Just not a disciplined performance defensively in that game, guys. A lot of silly fouls hurt them throughout.
I think lack of discipline is the right phrase, Greg. I mean, a lot of silly fouls, and they did that even when they were in foul trouble.
There's the dish to Cousins. Passes to Tucker. This one for 3. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist.
And with the way the Warriors went on a rampage last year, you knew that Alvin Gentry would be in demand. Was the architect behind the Warriors' offense, is one of the best offensive minds in our league.
Pelicans trail by 9. Now here's Joseph. Looking for his first basket still in this one. And Tucker kicks to Cousins. That's good.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Trailblazers have gone 7 of 9 from the field. A really nice start offensively for them. Kobe dishes to Nash. It's hauled in by Gordon.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Fournier passes to Joseph. Garnett with the block. And now Portland on the break. Kobe with the ball. A nice shot by Carter.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
That's not the kind of streak you want to be part of defensively. Tighten it up, fellas.
Now here's Gordon. 11 points for him in that last game against Golden State.
Yeah, but he was also a force on the defensive side. 2 block shots and also altered a ton of shots.
I tell you what, fellas, we're seeing some really good ball movement out there.
Definitely. 10 of their last 12 points have come off assists.
And Fournier kicks to Joseph. Screen by Cousins. To the right side. Here's Fournier. And again, New Orleans has no luck.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
Pass to Tucker. And he uses both hands to jam it in.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Duncan. Shot is off. Now New Orleans will take it the other way. Now Joseph still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. From past the arc, the rebound by Kobe Bryant.
All the time in the world to get that one off.
That's good from Nash on the assist by Carter. And the Trailblazers lead by 11.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And, Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
Now here's Cousins. 6 points for him. Down low, Joseph. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
Good ball movement. He put that pass in the ideal spot, right where it needed to be.
Trailblazers leading by 9. And Bryant kicks it over to Nash. Launches a 3, and that one's good. Nash has got 5.
They're really struggling defensively, giving up too many easy buckets.
Great point. Really an embarrassing performance defensively, and the coaching staff can't be happy.
Last season, Kobe, with some thoughts on the development of U.S. players last season, felt that the AAU system, Clark, was problematic.
And I would not disagree specifically in this regard. Too much focus on playing games and winning versus skill development.
Here's what Portland's going with right now. Jermaine O'Neal is checked in for Duncan. Pierce comes in for Kevin Garnett. Sean Marion, he's checked in for Vince Carter. And Allen subbed in for Kobe. A big group substitution here for New Orleans. Bargnani is checked in for Gordon. Johnson comes in for P.J. Tucker. Richardson, he's checked in for Evan Fournier. And Jarrett Jack has subbed in for Corey Joseph.
And with Kobe, who's just so skilled, that critique holds water. Kobe felt that Europeans came into the league with more of a skill set because they learned how to play the game a little bit more collectively than the American players.
Now here's Allen. Good, and the assist goes to Nash. Nash has got 5 assists in the game.
You know, it's really hard not to notice the difference in the passing of these two teams today.
It's a stark discrepancy when you look at the assist columns and you see that difference as far as the fluidity in their respective offenses. You know, for Kobe's statement, it's hard to measure something like skill with metrics. I mean, you look at shooting and free throw percentages, and there isn't too much of a difference between U.S. and European players.
Now here's Nash. He has 5. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Allen. For 3. Pelicans pull it in.
They've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass today.
Yeah, and it's already got them a +5 margin in the rebound column.
Back to Johnson. New Orleans moving it around. Jack with the 3. And Jermaine O'Neal pulls it down. Trailblazers leading by 9. And here we go with Allen running it up the court.
And there are more points tacked on here to the early lead.
And it's a nice lead as well. I mean, it's no mystery how they've done it. They're attacking the basket.
Grant, he's checked in for DeMarcus Cousins. Portland shooting their third free throw shot of the game. Well, New Orleans is still a relatively young team, but they play with the maturity, I think, Clark, that's beyond their years.
You know, Kevin, the average age for them last year was just over 25 years old, and the youngest team in the West, actually, to make it to the playoffs last year.
Now, here is Jack. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. And, oh, here we go. Marion, nobody back.
How about the start that they've gotten off to here? Huge lead, and we're still in the first quarter.
And, guys, it hasn't just been the scoring. I mean, they're playing tremendous defense, too.
Grant gets a wide-open look. Buries it from three-point range. Grant's got himself on the board with 3 there.
And for the Pelicans, part of why they look so mature is how they protect leads. I mean, rarely giving away points for free and knowing how to close out games.
And that one's good.
And it's like raining buckets right now. I wonder if this is the early stages of a blowout.
Well, we've got to be careful. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves just yet. But it has been pretty ugly so far, no doubt about that.
No good from Jack.
And, you know, guys, the Pelicans only lost 5 games last year where they led going into the fourth quarter. They won 38 when entering the fourth quarter with the lead. That's very mature basketball for a team that's as young as they are.
Pierce good.
And that's going to increase the field goal percentage even more. They have a huge edge in that category.
And that's because they've been playing smart basketball. I mean, they've been very patient offensively, and their shot selection has been superb.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Yeah, sensational is a really good word for it, Greg. They're tearing it up on the glass.
And he's starting to show that killer instinct this quarter, looking to extend the lead.
Nash against Jack. To the paint. Here's Grant. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Well, when you think of the great playmakers in league history, John Stockton per game averaged double-digit dimes. Think of this. For his career, 15,806 career assists. A record you knew right off would stand for a very long time.
And guys, you know, you look up point guard in the dictionary, and there's a nice little picture of John Stockton there. I mean, he is an unreal distributor. Controlled the game like no one ever has before or since. It's no coincidence that Utah never missed the playoffs in any of the 19 seasons that John Stockton was at the helm.
And he sinks the second.
Well, Portland had another strong season against the rest of the West. Ended up with a record of 31-21 in the conference, and that was good enough to earn them the 4th spot in the West.
Pelicans trail by 17. Outside Jack. Good work defensively by Marion.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Poke loose. Now the feed to Richardson. Rips down the breakaway slam.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
And it's Pierce in the corner. Good, and the assist goes to Nash. Nash has got assist number 7 for him tonight.
Paul Pierce with a sweet finish.
The wide open look here for Marion. He knocks it down, but wait a minute. The officials are getting together. They may want to review this one. And it looks like they are going to review the play. The question, did he get the basket off in time?
Yeah, and at this point of the game, you know, some might say, hey, can't we just skip the replay this time around? But you just never know.
Yeah, anything can happen. I mean, they want to get the call right, and the league is taking steps to speed the process with the Replay Review Center and Secaucus queuing up the footage for the official.
Basket's good.
And they've overturned the call. The replay was conclusive, and that one's going to count.
And Kevin, an example of why it's good to have replay. I don't know what kind of impact it'll have on the final result, but you always want them to get every call right.
And as the first quarter wraps up, already a double-digit lead. It's the Trailblazers up 19. Stay with us as we